Hey guys, my name's Chris, and this is Financial Fitness, and this is the Economic Ninja.
Hey guys, what are you guys doing? How are you doing?
We're hanging out in Denver, just having a blast. We wanted to take a minute and take some videos of what we're doing here, and I know why I'm here, and it's to hang around the smartest and the best people I've ever met in my life.
You notice he didn't say best looking. I like throwing you off your game, dude.
Yeah, I know, but and you're good at it.
We gotta be quiet. We're in the hotel room too. I miss people sleeping.
But that's why I'm here, and I think there's like 300 people that's going to be here.
Yeah, I think you never know how many people can't make it. I mean, everything's exploding right now with the stuff going around. But we've got a massive room down here, and we just can't wait. It's gonna see.
I know some observation on the way here. I didn't see one single person cough or sniff on the airplane.
I know, it was awesome. It was,
Not one.
It was super cool. Weird. Weird. So Denver, let me ask you a couple of questions. What are you expecting to get out of this when you get to meet all these people? There's a lot of people coming to know you.
To be honest with you, I feel like I'm going to make lifelong friends.
Amen.
Because if you come here, your heart's in the right place.
Yeah.
If you make this trip to see these real, honest, genuine people, then you're in the right place. And when you walk up to somebody you know, it's like, okay, there's like a 95% chance that you're awesome and we're like-minded.
Oh, totally. So we met at a financial conference in June, and we've been friends ever since. You know, it went from him being a subscriber on my channel to us being friends. And that's just, being able to help out your channel, and, dude, it's been just, this is awesome.
It's been great. I would have never done it. You really encourage me, and I've been able to bring value to people too. I get comments about people are buying gold and silver, they're protecting their wealth. I've got people welding and buying, learning a trade. That gives me a pump.
Yeah, and we're down in a hotel right now, a beautiful hotel down here in Denver right now, and we got a bunch of influencers here actually. They keep showing up. Like we just had some other channels call, and like we're booking hotels. We're flying tonight. Like people are like, it's getting awesomely out of control. Like this is exciting. This is what I really dreamed about when I thought of Ninja Nation, and because you're helping me by helping more people now, and that's what I keep saying. And we can't even talk about it yet because he's swore us to secrecy because he's all embarrassed and shy. But a friend of ours, another subscriber, is starting a channel, and he's Latino, and he is going to explode onto the Latin scene.
Crazy good businessman.
Oh my gosh! And he's like he lives with a smile until the video recorder goes on. He goes.
I don't know what to say.
But he's a good friend. Oh, we love him. We don't want to say his name out loud right now, but I want you guys.
I'm going to do a video with him today.
Yeah, I want you guys to start getting ready for us to announce his channel, because what he's going to do for Latinos is going to be. I can't wait. Like I'm ecstatic. I totally can't wait to boost his channel and just watch it explode. He's gonna blow past all of us. I'm not joking. I really feel that.
Oh, he's such a good businessman.
Yeah, and he's so kind, and that smile is just addicting, So
yeah.
And so that's what we have here down in Denver. Just we have friends, and just, oh gosh, it's just the energy is insane.
Yeah, it's gonna be shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah,
the venue's gonna be. I like it because it's not big enough for everybody spread out, but it's pretty. It's going to be just right, and I'm going to get some footage of that as well.
Oh yeah,
I'm thinking about doing a live stream there.
Oh yeah, I'll do a live stream.
Okay.
And the other thing too, well, I mean, actually, the sad thing is, it's in this day and age. There's people that want to do harm, and they're like, they want to call stuff out, and it's like, you're like, how do you go about that? How do we get to the masses that are the silent majority that are good? They're good people, human beings all over the world. I don't care what your color is, your sexual orientation, your belief system. Well, all I want is the genuine people that want to help themselves to be better, their families, and then just be kind to other human beings. The thing is, I believe that's literally most of the world. Honestly, most of the world. And so how do we get this information to most of the world when, honestly, in this world, there's a few people that just want to wreck it all. You know what I mean?
And it's not very many.
It isn't. And so that's what gives me, and it should give you, listening to this, extreme hope. All right? Because what's happening right now with Ninja Nation and all these channels that are starting to literally explode, and we are going to show the prosperity, a message of hope and freedom. And that's really the most important thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
You've got freedom, financial freedom, because of your rental properties. You're very successful with that stuff.
Well, it all what it boils down to is owning things that pay you to own them.
Yeah,
you know,
your
only
money
buy
works
things
for you.
that pay you to own them.
Yeah.
You know, try to put off the instant gratification with new vehicles and create businesses, and your assets pay for your lifestyle. And when you figure that out, it's like, oh wow, I want another rent house.
I could literally call Chris at any moment and say, hey, can you get on a plane and come to the city real quick? And boom, he's there. It's because of how he's lived his life, and he has investments that afford him to be able to do that. He chooses when to go to work. He'll call me, I need to go to work. I need some money to go do this project or that. It's because he wants to do something more. So that's really cool.
Yeah, well, I'm not in the stratosphere of the uber wealthy, but when you don't owe anybody and you've got things that pay you to own them, that you're there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and that's what my channel is. I want to help people. I got another welding channel too. If y'all aren't over there, and you know somebody that wants to weld and learn a trade, because you need a money train. You got to have a money train to
go and
to
subscribe
invest.
to that channel.
Yeah. And I'm doing a rental property. I'm trying not to get people too ramped up on rentals yet because we're at the top of the market.
Yep.
But I'm going to be singing and dancing when it's time.
Oh yeah.
When there's blood in the streets, I'm going to be going nuts.
Oh yeah. We're going to be able to show people how to buy houses with no money down. But you've got to do it when everything looks, and that's gonna be the funny part. I'll be getting people ready for this for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. Then this crash comes and say, all right, guys, it's time to buy, and everyone's go, you're crazy, you're nuts, and out of the fear, and it's like, oh no, that's when you buy.
So, you gotta be a contrarian.
Oh yeah, man, it's great. It's great to be the one getting laughed at while you're kicking back in your nice little plush place.
Aside from all that, there's one little speculative thing that I really like to talk about, and that's crypto. And that's really getting beat up. And I've been talking about it, and it's still getting beat up, and I'm going to keep talking about it because the people that missed the first ride might have a chance to get in it later on that's a little cheaper.
Yeah, so I've been not talking about it. And people ask, like, why aren't you talking about crypto? You still believe in it? I'm like, yeah, I totally, yeah, I'm really invested. But you have a moral responsibility having a YouTube channel that you don't want to get people super amped up and just so you can get clicks and views, and then they go buy something at the top of a cycle. So I haven't been talking about it. And actually, when we were driving in from the airport, one of our advisors was saying, hey man, look at the hit on crypto. And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at, we're moving cash, that dry powder over. We're getting into the exchanges, and I'm waiting. I have a specific number, and I don't even want to tell people that number because I've been wrong. Like I bought, at one price, and then it dips down another 10%. I never whined about it. I just went and bought more. And so I'm getting ready to inject more cash. And it's honestly, crypto's going down. People aren't paying attention to this because the stock market's going down. Because a lot of stocks are worth a lot less. People aren't paying attention to that. It's whole stock market's popped up by like 8 stocks. This is insanity. And so we're getting ready for that. So, and ironically though, if people would ask, well, if you think it's going to go down, why aren't you selling? I'm like, because I'm not a moron, because I know that I'm not always right. So I'm going to play both sides by holding on in case I'm wrong and it goes up. But if it goes down, I'm going to go buy more because I know what the long-term trend on that stuff is.
So, Venezuela, they have the best performing stock market on the earth.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like,
it's at 59,000%.
Yeah, if you want to keep making money, just go buy Venezuelan stocks right now.
So, in our markets,
that's not financial advice. Just I'm a dork. Don't even listen to me. We'll play this for the judge.
In our markets, so when we have another event, whatever it may be, we don't know.
Yeah.
If you're long the stock market, are you long stimulus? So
yeah. Well, yeah.
And how does that tie to crypto? You're kind of long.
Oh man, well it's interesting. It's two different types of stimulus. Most stimulus is printed, and only a certain percentage is like, I call it salting it over the peasants. Yeah, they just salt it. They sprinkle a little bit of money over the peasants and all of us, right? And that actually increases the value of things like what we saw with not GameStop, but Robinhood, like stock market and stuff. Precious metals saw an increase. Bitcoin and crypto saw an increase, right? Why? Because people like us took our stimulus money, ran down to the bank and invested it. But if you start talking like quantitative easing and things like that, it will increase the stock market, but in a different way. It's just different sectors. Is going to increase that stock. So you just got to sort of see what kind of stimulus is it, because they both have positives, but for investing in stocks and things like that. But some of them are like fire. Like when you literally hand everybody a check, I mean, you've literally given them a loaded gun to just go and invest, in anything. So you just got to sort of figure out what they're investing in. That's
Stimulate
impressive.
the economy.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. When you use the word stimulus, like a stimulus, everyone thinks stimulus check, and I'm like, well, there's differences. There's that stimulus, like quantitative easing. It's just fancy words, or tapering, or I'm sorry, what is it? There's all these different words. There was this one they called Operation something. It was back in 2013, I think it was. Totally blanking out on what it is, but
it's double speak is what it is. They try to make bad things sound really good.
Operation Twist. That's what it was. It's Operation Twist. You're like, why? Well, it's like quantitative easing, but we've twisted it. Like, brilliant.
So I got one more question for you,
Yeah.
and I'm really glad I'm able to ask you in person.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of people that watch that have 401ks, and they know they can't touch their 401k.
Oh, I know where this is going.
How do they get? What can they do? I feel the worst for them, not to mention the pension holders. I'm not sure what to tell them.
I've actually stayed away from this topic because I don't give financial advice. So I will do this. I'm going to tell you some things of people that I know have done some things to get ready for this, okay? So I know somebody that took a loan against their retirement, and they had to pay it back, but the rate was extremely low. It was like less than 1% at a certain point. This changes all the time. So they borrowed like $50,000 against, and there's a limit to how much they could borrow. They borrowed like $50,000 from their retirement account. They started paying it back at 1%. There's two different types of loans. There's a standard loan that you can, like a hardship, or not, sorry, we'll get into hardship. Just a standard loan, general loan. And that's like a 5-year term. And this guy goes, well, there's this other one called a real estate style loan, and you don't have to pay it. You get to pay it over 15 years. So he's going, look, I'm gambling that the stock market's at all-time highs. And this was actually a couple of years ago, just so you know. So he actually technically lost, but we can get to that in a second because the stock market kept going up. So he borrowed that 50 grand and it amortized over 15 years. So the payments were like, on that 50 grand, I want to say he told me, if I have to remember right, the interest rate was super low. The payments were like $80 a paycheck. Super low, right? So he took that 50 grand and he actually went and bought silver with it. Now that silver he paid, this was actually a couple years ago, and I want to say he paid like $16, $17 per ounce. So the stock market's up X amount of percent, but on a percentage basis, his silver just blew up. I also know somebody that took out a hardship, like actually a withdrawal. Now that comes with a penalty, 10% fine from the IRS, right? So you got to pay that. And he goes, you know what I'm about to do, we're going to crush this. Now this guy also took 50 grand out, and he claimed a hardship. So he not only had to pay the 10% penalty, he also had to claim that as income. So he had to pay it on ordinary income rates, right? So you're going, man, you're nuts. And he goes, well, hold my beer and watch this. And he went and bought crypto. Oh man. Yeah. And that money, so he paid like, I don't know, I want to say it was like, out of that 50 grand, it was like almost 18,000 in tax, right? You're like, oh, that's hard to swallow. But he didn't have to pay that tax for a year. He put it into crypto. I'm not suggesting this is not financial advice, okay? This is just a story. And he turned that 50 grand into 500,000 bucks. Yeah, and he bought a house.
Crypto, if you've never seen crypto run or experienced it, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, but it's also scary too because
it's volatile. I wouldn't have it any other way.
I've seen people buy, $100,000 in crypto and it went to 10,000 bucks. So, and it sat there for a while. So,
they didn't buy when there was blood in the streets.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
Scary. They bought it when it was going up.
Yeah.
This happened the other day. I told a guy about a crypto. I said, hey, you might check it out. And he said, oh, I don't mess with that. I don't understand it. Well, it rocked on and doubled and tripled and quadrupled. And he was watching it. And he calls me, hey, what was the name of that crypto? I was like, it was this. But you're not planning on buying it now, are you? It's at an all-time high. Oh, well, yeah. Things rock on, the bottom falls out, everything drops 60%. He calls me back and says, you gave me bad advice. You told me about this crypto. No. So that's why we do not give financial advice. But I love to hear this 401k story.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that because if you're borrowing, say you borrow 50 grand on your 401k and you're paying back 1% and inflation is 6.8, more like 18, you're borrowing free money.
No, you're not, because you have to also look at right now the stock market's going up because of stimulus, going back to stimulus, right? So you're actually losing unless you take that money and inject it somewhere really good. Now, some people I know have taken it and they literally said, you know what, the heck with this. I'm going to borrow against it and I'm going to chunk it down on my house. And one guy, this is another story I actually heard. I do a lot of this stuff with people, and they took the money, they borrowed against it, they put it down on their house and refinanced their house. Well, since they didn't have 20% down, they were paying PMI, right? So not only were they able to refinance their house into a lower interest rate, they took the 50 grand, I don't remember, actually I don't remember how much that one was, and they put it on their house to where they now had 20% involved in the house, and they now got they got a lower interest rate and took off the PMI. Well, that savings between those two functions of the mortgage, well overpaid. It was something like triple or quadruple the payments. Well, now they're like, okay, we're repaying ourselves, but we're taking the savings, whatever it was, let's say $150 over the payments, and we're injecting that now into an investment each month. And I mean, you know, that is really slick. But again, not financial advice, but a lot of people are wondering, what can we do with our 401k?
Well,
oh, excuse me. Not everyone can borrow against their 401k too. It's all depend. I don't remember the differences between the different plans. I'm not a financial advisor or planner, so that's a question for your employer. You'd have to ask, you know. And a lot of people are really stuck because unless they leave their employer, they can't do anything either. But there are ways that you can borrow against the funds in there.
It wouldn't be a bad idea to sell a little bit of stock and buy some precious metals.
But you're not giving financial advice.
No.
Yeah, because again, somebody can do that, and then all of a sudden,
and then precious metal falls.
Well, what's scary is in the beginning of a crash or hyperinflation, yeah, stocks can outperform precious metals, and it takes a while for precious metals to catch up.
What do you got?
Because of the what?
What do you got? What do you have with a stock?
Well, yeah, you have nothing, especially the ones that don't pay dividends. Those are real jokes. That's all speculation. But the facts are stocks can rebound in a different way when money printing starts, and it takes a while for precious metals to get there. On the flip side, in 2008, stocks didn't bottom until 2009. Precious metals bottomed literally like 8 weeks after Lehman collapsed, and then they just started tanking off. So there's different scenarios in which it takes longer for, like right now, what's happening with inflation. Inflation's going up, and precious metals are going up, but not what you'd expect or think. But it's just like the late 70s. It takes a while for the perception of the human being to go, whoa, wait a minute. Everything's going up. Well, gold and silver's not going up, so maybe that's not good. But then someone goes, but wait a minute. Why don't we buy the one thing that hasn't gone up yet before everybody else buys? And then they all flood into it, just like crypto, and it goes shooting.
Everybody I talk to lately, not everybody, they're starting to buy a dog coin of some type. And they're starting to look at precious metals a little bit, and they're awake a little more. Before it was like,
but not too bright. They're buying a coin that has a dog on it, and they actually they make more of it every year. Just it's actually inflationary, but it's a meme. But they won't buy something real. So technically, you're still in that tulip mania.
But that doesn't mean it won't go up. If somebody like Elon Musk gets behind it, it gives it the network effect that it needs.
Yeah, that's true.
It sucks the way it's such a broken.
They even have an Elon Musk Doge coin. You just can't get this.
Yeah, and it might go to the freaking moon. You never know.
Yeah. If
everybody buys it.
Got a cool name.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, I hope y'all learned something because I got him at my disposal. And, I'm going to keep asking him questions. I hope y'all like and subscribe and ring the bell. I'm going to keep these interviews coming. I'm about to do one with, I'm not going to say his name.
Yeah, we can't say his name.
But you're going to learn something from him as well because he's a crazy good businessman. I hope you have an awesome day. I'll see you tomorrow.